Good evening, guys. So I've been out here trying to purge, and this is a complete mess. I'm trying to transition from summer to fall, but a lot of these summer crops are still growing, so pardon the mess out here at the moment. All right, so these are early purple sprouting broccoli, and I'm just germinating seeds. I know some of them are close together that I'll have to tend to later on. These are radishes. These are purple radishes. This here, every time I think I'm gonna thin it out, which I do a little, but there's so many beans on here, like all the time. These are Kentucky pole beans. If you want the gift that keeps on giving, get you some Kentucky pole beans, because they are just literally every time I pluck some off, I'll come out the next day and there'll just be more. This is the last of the cantaloupe, 2 of them. I took 2 inside this weekend. These are my peanuts. They're still doing well. Tomatillos, going crazy. Over here, this bed is pretty much empty. I have to pull this corn stalk up, and this is a tomatillo, which will stay. This is a squash, which I have to pull up, and then this is sweet potatoes here. The beans will stay in with the tomatillo, and the rest of this bed is going to be for my chaos garden bed, girl with soil. All right, so got the corn stalk up. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically 6, 7 square foot areas that I can plant whatever seeds I mix together in, which I have not done yet, but I will this week. This compost pile is going over there in those raised beds as a base. I got to put cardboard on the bottom for some fall crop, and I have not decided what I'm putting in there yet. But this is where I trimmed my loofah, because I have many growing on here, and I wanted it to like focus its energy on the ones that are already growing, because our first frost is expected around October 15th in zone 7A here in Virginia. But I've got some loofah on here. There's one there. There's a couple small ones I left on here, but I wanted to cut as much stuff and growing ends and things like that off as I could. So this is actually the second pile. There's another big pile in those raised beds over there. But as you can see, I pruned it pretty well, but you have to be very careful. So you have to find the end of a growing tip and cut backwards. But here's a loofah. I'll have to go in the chicken coop, but there are 2 in there. Oh, here's one of them right here. One there, and there's one on the other side too. And then there are 2 bigger ones hanging on the other side. So, all together with the small ones and the larger ones that I probably have 7 good sized ones on here. So I kind of want the plant to focus its energy on that. But at the same time, I cannot cut too much off, because it's all like tangled together. And like I said, you have to find the end of a growing tip and cut it back that way. You can't just start clipping, or you're gonna clip off your vines that have growing loofahs on them, like I did with some of my watermelon accidentally while I was trying to prune back those branches. But like I said, I cleaned it out quite a bit, as you can see. And there's probably another pile about the same size over there in one of those raised beds. All right, so over here, I still have going strong some pepper plants. And to be honest with you, I do not know which is which, but I know I planted 3 kind. I planted jalapenos, I planted chilies, and I planted Hungarian wax. But to me, they kind of all look the same. But next growing season, I'm going to be more, more conscious of labeling everything. But these guys still got tons tons of peppers hanging on them. And these are my bell peppers, purple bell peppers. Look, new blooms on them. And I trimmed back these tomatoes, pruned them really well, but look at this guy. I'm just waiting on this to ripen. Look at this, it fits in my hand. It's huge. I don't want to mess with it too much because I don't want to accidentally knock it off the vine. But look at that. It's humongous. Oh, here's one of my baby loofah. And more bell pepper plants here. More hot pepper and bell pepper in this one. Oh, I finally got zucchini to live. These are Black Beauty zucchini. So fingers crossed, because every other zucchini I planted this season died on me. And these are those Japanese radishes that can grow up to 24 inches long and 3 inches round. Don't have that kind of growing space. I don't think I've spaced them apart the correct length, but I don't think this container is 24 inches. I think it's like around 18. So, but we'll see what we get. And these are my second round of cucumber vines. More empty beds here, which will be for like my broccolis and cauliflowers seedlings that I have inside. Same thing here. And I got some new zinnias starting back here. Still got some herbs here. And what do I got back here? My lemon boy tomato plant. It's still got a few on there. This is an empty container I'll use for fall. Now, this is my throwaway compost pile because it's got a lot of tomato vine cuttings in it that has like a lot of disease stuff, so I'm not going to use this. But things like this corn stalk, there's a few down in here. I will use these to probably help fill those raised beds over there once I get the cardboard to put underneath of them. And my grapevine kind of conquered out on me. And I pruned these tomato vines today. And I have more pepper plants here, some Swiss chard here, which mainly I'm growing for the chickens. And let's see what we got going on over here. I got okra. We have harvested okra from that. My sunflowers are still putting out new flowers here and there. Got more tomato vines here. I did prune these today, but I ran out of time, so I didn't prune those as well as the others. But nonetheless, they were pruned some, so every little bit will help. Another okra. Eggplant. These are pepper plants, which I planted late summer. And these are called Etiluda peppers. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. And so these are the banana peppers that took forever to get going, but I don't know why that's purple. But anyways, finally I've gotten a few off, and there's more growing. Same thing here. So these are pumpkin vines. My initial ones died the end of summer, so I threw these in just seeing if we get anything. Probably won't, but what do I got to lose with a few seeds? More tomatoes. This is an empty bag of dirt. And oh, that one over there with the netting on it, that's empty also. And that one and this one, I'm planning to put my Brussels sprouts in. I have 6 plants, so I can get 3 in each. This one's also empty for fall stuff. This has carrots in it, and today I did see right there little sprouts coming up. There was more, but they're so small, they're hard to pick out. There's one right there. So anyways, so they're finally starting to germinate. It's been over a week. And this has just got the bean plants. Look, I already harvested today, and I'm just saying, like, they're so easy to miss, but I'm telling you, I can walk away and come back and find a dozen or more. Look, hanging on here. Kentucky pole beans, guys, that's the way to go. Here's my itty bitty baby cantaloupe. I don't know what it's going to do. This is a Minnesota mini cantaloupe. I have some of these out front in my, what's it called? Green stock also. And This basically just has the end of the vine that has that little cantaloupe in it. So I have some free space here. I'll probably cut back some more of these. Alyssum, I did that earlier today. Same here. This has the end of the vine that has, I think, this cantaloupe on it. And I don't know which one that's hooked to, so I'm afraid to cut like any more of that until I harvest these two. And this watermelon might be ready. Not sure. But anyways, it's right there. That's my last watermelon. I got more tomatillos here. Some of these long beans. More tomatillos here. These things are just loaded, guys, loaded. And I have some out front too. So I'm hoping I can make some good salsa with that. I've got scarlet beans. You can see there's some hanging up there. I have to get something to reach all the way up there. And also on this side, there's sweet potatoes there. And look, more of these long beans. I think these are supposed to be like the yard long, but I don't honestly like them when they're big and thick like this. I won't plant these again, but I do like the skinny, like the long skinnier beans. I don't know what they're called, but I do have some of those too. So probably next year I'll just plant those. Like I like them when they're like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that one off there. I didn't see that earlier today. But yeah, I'll just plant the long skinny beans and the Kentucky pole beans and maybe the oh heck, what are they called? Royal Burgundy next year. That's probably all I'm gonna plant for green beans, because I'm telling you what, the Kentucky, oh yeah, the wax beans, love those. So those 4 and nothing else, because those are the ones that I liked the best. And this is my first year for growing them. So, and here's my jalapeno pepper plants, which I did get a bunch off of here over the weekend. But as you can see, there's still more on here. So I'll have this space for fall too, once these guys conk out on me. But there are new blooms on these, so I don't know how long that's going to be. I might just let them go till frost if they keep putting out. This is the other side of my cucumber vines. So this one died. It was a lemon cucumber plant, but I have 3 more lemon cucumber plants here. This is a Wisconsin SMR 58, whatever that is. I think it said it was small, that's why I wanted to try it. These are White Wonder, and this is Garden Bush. These 2, both of those. So that's basically what's going on back here. And like I said, as you can see, things are a mess. I need to get the broom and kind of sweep all this mess out of here. But it's just like kind of cluttery and it's driving me crazy. But at the moment, there's not really much I can do about it. And, oh, have you guys ever grown, what is this? Red Malabar spinach. So these are really tender, and I believe I read that you can eat the stem and the leaves. Personally, I did not like it, so I just give it to the chickens for a treat here and there. They really like it, but guys, this stuff it's tropical, so it loves, like it doesn't take a lot of watering. You can see this soil is pretty darn dry, and it's just like flourishing. And these are dead marigolds. And these were sage and dill, but they kind of got too dry on me too. But I have lots of herbs out front in the green stalks. So that's what's going on here out back. And I'm going to, walk right over here real quick and show you something. Look at my girls living the dream here. Just living the dream. So this needs watered, but I still got tomatoes here. Here's the from the loofah that I was talking about earlier. So these are sunflowers. I just planted these, gosh, not that long ago. If I can find the tag, I can tell you the date. But see, the chickens get in here and they just do their thing. So, and this is my Acai kiwi that's growing. But these are supposed to be blue sunflowers. So I'm excited when these guys bloom to see. So I read that they're actually like purple, but they call them blue. So we'll see. But I love how it gets, these sunflowers that I planted this year have gotten all these little side shoots. Even the ones in the back there, the ones in the bed with the okra, and also those yellow ones right there. So here's my seedlings. These are multiplier onions or potato onions. Oh, I've been hardening these off. I think these are a little dry, but these are the Brussels sprouts. And this is my avocado. And this is comfrey. And this is ginger. So these are purple cauliflower. And this is the snowball cauliflower. This is purple kohlrabi. And this is, I know that it's broccoli, I just don't, the calabrese broccoli, and this is the Rasmus broccoli. So, some of these seedlings might not make it. I think they need water, because it was kind of warm today, but not like, it's like in the high 70s. But like I said, I've been hardening these guys off, so it got pretty chilly last night. This one's not going to make it. So that's what I got going on up here on the porch. All right, going out front now. There's my banana tree. I thought it would give me bananas this year, but I haven't seen one yet. It's still just growing leaves, so who knows. But I've got more tomato vines out here. These are okra seedlings. Started these from seed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are potatoes. Purple bell peppers, green beans, another tomato, empty container, tomatoes, and tomatillos. This tomatillo not doing as good as the ones out back, but I think it's hotter here. I don't know, maybe because it's on the concrete. These are harder to keep moist, but they've done okay. And I have gotten some off of them. I just cut it way back because it was like hanging way over to but nonetheless, these guys are about done and over with, and I'll be putting fall stuff in these containers, maybe set them on the grass instead of in the driveway. Look, so this sunflower is supposed to be a rose sunflower, and I planted this 8-9, which is about when I planted the blue ones back there also. So I can't wait to see what this looks like. These are marigolds, and got some lettuce, kale, beets, I think that's cabbage, yep, and more cabbage. It's supposed to be spinach here, but it's not germinating, might just be too hot. These are radishes and lettuce, beans, more lettuce. This is another sunflower, and for some reason that tag says eggplant, but I don't think that's the eggplant because my little niece was out here messing around in this stuff. I think maybe this is the eggplant, not sure. Guess we'll find out. But anyhow, so that's basically what's in this green stuff. We got sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes, corn, 2 different containers planted at 2 different times. So this one obviously is the older one. And asparagus, blackberry, raspberries, echinacea, and calendula. Planted these guys. I think that's moist enough. And this green stalk has herbs in it. Calendula, mint, lemon balm, basil, dill, some marigolds, I think that's it in there. I think I have a video, I don't know if I posted it yet, of doing this green stock, but there's my blueberry bush. So that's that green stock. And that's lettuce. I'm growing that for the chickens. Peppermint. Have more herbs here. This is spearmint. Some thyme. Dill. Got some onions on the bottom there. And this is, I think this is cilantro that went to seed. I'm gonna get some more cilantro in. These are my peas. Peas, and peas. And these are where I transplanted the strawberries from those hanging grow bags to here. And some of them are looking pretty shabby. Hoping they just make it, but some of them look fine. Some of them do not look fine. Same thing with this container. These are more of the strawberries. So this green stalk has mini white cucumbers. Look at that. Mini sunflower. So pretty. And these are sun sugar, tomatoes, strawberries up top, some lettuce, cucumbers, Space Master cucumbers, and that's bunching onions, I think, behind there. More of the mini cucumbers here. They're putting out a lot. Just gotta wait on them to get big enough to harvest. This is butternut squash on the bottom. And some beans and oregano. More butternut squash. More beans and parsley. And oh yeah, these are those little mini, so these are yellow gourmet cherry tomatoes. These plants only get 6 to 10 inches tall, and these are the orange hat cherry tomatoes. I have to separate these, there's too many in here, but and these get, I think, 8 to 12 inches tall. And then just some lettuce. Oh, it has some what's it called? There's more basil there. Strawberry spinach, which has taken a very long time just to get that big. And some lavender. And there was one more thing I wanted to show you in here. As soon as I find it. It was ground cherries. And where do I have them at? Ground cherries. Where are they? They're here somewhere. Oh, I think this is them. Yes, right here. Ground cherries. And then another mini sunflower up here. It just says dwarf sunflower. I don't know what color it is. But look how pretty the yellow one is. So I haven't paid much mind to these this summer because they were literally this big last year, but then early summer my husband set them right out in the direct sun, and they got sunburnt. But these are yellow dragon fruit, so I'm kind of letting them just rejuvenate. They like a lot of light, but they don't like direct sunlight, which sounds strange because it's a cactus, but they are doing really well, and I've gotten a lot of growth this summer from these guys. So probably need transplanted at this point, but they're looking good. And I think this just might need watered, but I'm trying to figure out why the leaves are curled on this. So if you guys know, let me know. This looks like my sweet potato vine climbing up here. What is that? And where did it come from? Yeah, it is sweet potato vine. All right, and then I have an apple tree, a Meyer lemon. This is a Calamundan tree, and this thing was so little when I got it, so it really grew a lot this year. And this is a Valencia orange tree. This green amaranth, my God, it's huge. And it just like grew up, and I didn't know what it was, and I looked it up. So I was like, well, I'll keep it and see, but I really don't know what to do with it. And yeah, so that's the Valencia orange, and this is my lime tree, which I got last year. It's put on a lot of growth this year. And again, that green amaranth, I don't know what to do with it. It also is the gift that keeps on giving. All right, so that's about all I got going on, just to kind of give everybody an update as to what's been going on around here. That's pretty much it. And have a blessed evening and a good week.